It's not, I can't hear it.
Well, good evening and season's greetings to everyone. Welcome to the Boxing Day edition of the Island Stats Football Show. I'm your host, Earl Basin. Joining me as co-hosts Macy O'Dill and Garrett Punchy Dill. Unfortunately, this evening, Nikita Robinson is just slightly a bit under the weather, so she won't be joining us this evening. But gentlemen, we've had a full slate of matches today, and we have another full slate of matches that will take place starting tomorrow right through to next week, Sunday, that we have to go through. This type of football reminds me of back in the day in the Dudley Eve when we used to have the top 4 teams playing over the Christmas break. Not much time to rest in between, and it was a trophy up for grabs. What's your thoughts of teams having to play these matches in close quarters? I mean, if you look at it, when we were playing, we would play on a Sunday and then a Tuesday night or a Thursday and then the following Sunday. What's your thoughts, Maceo?
Yeah, I mean, I used to love the Christmas break, the holiday, right? I used to love the intensity. You had a chance to have all the overseas players back, the college players back, the hype around it. I used to love it. And it was always a balance. It was a balancing act between the Christmas and New Year's festival. But I mean, that's the life of an athlete, right? You make certain sacrifices, for your passion. So it was something that I always loved, and especially having a trophy up for grab. I always loved a little trophy.
Mm.
So it is exciting time of year for, always exciting time of year.
Punchy, for you would have played many of those back in the day throughout the Christmas break.
Well, yeah, for sure. When it did begin, because if we go back when I was 16 and 17 over the Christmas holidays, remember you always used to have international teams that came.
Yes.
And so there was a rest period at that time for a lot of teams. The national team would be playing, select teams would be playing, and so there was a rest period for teams like Norfolk a lot of times. So anyway, but now it's like, so now the Dudley Eve and the competition. So now it's about recovery. It's about safeguarding, have your Christmas dinner, but taking care of yourself physically. And what I saw today is that today's game, I just think that players have, coaches, the coaching staff, and the team that they're coaching have to learn how to recover. That's it. In those days that they're playing, rest, eat, enjoy your family time, but still get ready for the next game.
Yeah. The important thing about the teams that play today that will play probably again on Tuesday and or Wednesday, you're right, it's that recovery. What do the players do? Because there ain't much coaching going on in between them. There's not much coaching going on in between them. It's what the players do individually to make sure that they're ready and so forth. But the good thing is with tomorrow being a holiday and Tuesday being a holiday, some of the teams that play today can actually use tomorrow a session, even if for half an hour, as a recovery session. Go to the beach, go to do something just to get the guys who are the walking wounded to get that blood flowing again. But it's incumbent of the player to make sure that he is ready to go to battle. If it's Tuesday, it's Tuesday. If it's Wednesday, it's Wednesday. And in some cases, if it's Thursday, it's Thursday. But they have to get themselves ready and be prepared to go to battle again. And then obviously we have New Year's Day following Sunday Saturday, New Year's Day Saturday, and then football again on Sunday. So, again, the players have to make sure that they do everything in their power to make sure that they're fit enough to last this period.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, I experienced it from both sides. A player being excited coming in from school and wanting to play and wanting to show what I've learned overseas, and then I experienced it from the coaching side, having to manage my players. You know, I had to stalk them, literally had to stalk the players to be able to manage them to get peak performance out of them. You know, and that was a different sort of a different challenge, having to convince the players to manage themselves well over the Christmas period. But that's just the life of an athlete. You know, you have to make certain sacrifices to perform. I mean, and I like to bring up the situation that Pep Guardiola talked about. He dropped the two English players, which are Jack Grealish and Phil Foden, for the behavior away from the field. You know, he dropped those two people. He said, well, during this Christmas period, I pay special attention to what the players are doing away from the field.
Away from the
So, you know, so you had to do that. That's actually part of management. It's part of managing the player so you could get them to that level of performance.
Hey, Earl and Maceo, you know what I'm so excited about? Is that what we're talking about, the players that come from overseas coming back to play in these teams, right? Like for last week, when I went and watched Norfolk play against Rangers, the young guy, Richardson.
Jared,
you can see he's at that level. He's young. He's like 7. So you could see, even with, I didn't see the game with Hamilton Parish with Corey Hill something, but I'm sure he made a great impact on the game. That I heard about that. But there is, what's so fascinating for me, that you could definitely see these young guys come at 17 and 18, come put in, and then they start playing with the guys that, you know, that are here for the year, that play for the team. That anyway, the point that I'm saying is that you will see the difference of level, the coaching, and the quality, and that was most noticeable last week. The young man that came in from England last week, Richardson, I think I don't know his name.
Jared.
Yeah, he's a left footer. Cutting in from the right side. He didn't put a lot of stuff wrong. Of course, he missed some chances, but what I'm so happy about is that you're going to start seeing that quality at that age compared to the guys at the 26, 27. You're going to see, wow, you can see there is a difference, and what they have learned in England, in England, United States, and that's what I'm excited about. So we can see, wow, what this little guy is, age 17. Look what he does for the last 60 minutes. Look what he's able to play like. And so that's what I do. I'm happy about that.
Well, let's jump into today's matches. Let's start in the Premier Division. Up at Southampton Oval, it was Southampton Rangers 1, PHC Zebras 3. Maceo, you were at that particular match. I was at that match. Give us your opinion on PHC.
Well, follow me here. All the City Hill PHC players have a kick-out service on Christmas Day. You know, they have a regular historical kick-out service. I actually think PHC thought they'll steal out service in today's match. I think they thought they were still playing in the backyard of Paris today. They were poor today. They were absolutely poor when I thought that they was going to just be purring. They were poor today, and they were just too strong for Rangers. At the end of the day, they got the result, you know, and the result was 3-1. But the quality of what PHC put out there, it wasn't quality of what we're used to, especially after what they did to Colts last week. You know, and I kind of put it down. I was sitting with Randy Bean, my uncle, and he actually brought it to my attention that I think the PHC players think they're still out Purvis playing.
I looked at it and kept saying to myself, I think they're worried about the next two matches as opposed to this particular match, and I think there were times where they were saving themselves or making sure they've done just enough to either win the ball or to do just enough to get them over the finish line in today's match, because they were looking ahead, kind of thing. And the believe it or not, in a derby, you cannot underestimate your team. The team you're playing against could have no points, but in a derby, it's totally different. The atmosphere, the emotions of everything, and I think that was the one mistake. Oh, I wouldn't even call it a mistake. I just think they got settled into, okay, especially when they went up 1-0 early. This is going to be an easy day. Let's just stroll through the park, and then they find themselves 1-1, and they're 1-1 at the half. And as you know, as a footballer, as a coach, when a team gets in a rut, it's very difficult to get yourself out of it.
Doing that game, exactly.
Very difficult. You know, so that, I mean, they managed to get over the finish line, but I think that was in the back of their mind. They were thinking, okay, let's just get out of Southampton Oval with 3 points, on to whatever's next. And again, they play again on Tuesday, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, and then they play again. Let's see. Yeah, they play again on Tuesday, and then they play again on Saturday. So, you know, that could also be a factor.
Oh, that's an interesting point, and that's where coaching comes in and triggering the players, right? Because how I would have looked at that game, I would have wanted to put the game away so I could get Mark off the field, I could get this play off the field, I could get this play off the field in preparation. So even if we got one eye on the next game, let's put this game away.
Now that's just the thing. You as the coach might be looking at it like that. So the players on the field could be looking at it totally different. And I mean, we're all been in a situation where, we'll get through this, and then it just keeps seeping in, and you find yourself, you know, still 1-1 after 50 minutes, and you had all these chances, but they won't go any good.
I was surprised they didn't take Antoine Russell off the field, right? You mean, he just lost the plot afterwards. He was optimistic. I said, well, just get him off now. Get him off because, you know, he likes rare cards sometimes, right? So
right. I think he was frustrated. He was frustrated because he didn't get a couple of early calls, and it kind of took some of the younger players off what they were trying to do, because they were still trying to get him the ball. They were forcing the ball to him sometimes, and in positions where he had two guys on him, he might get across one, but he weren't getting across the other one, and he was just frustrated, and you could see it. You know, I mean, he's challenging spectators, he's challenging the bench, he's challenging the, you know, and it's a period of time where, as a senior player, and as a leader of a team, you know, he might not be the captain of the team, but he's considered a leader of the team. You got to start looking at yourself and say, hey, am I doing this right for the team, kind of thing?
Agreed.
You know what I mean? So I think.
Excuse me for interrupting you guys. Sure. I've got to make this point. I made some notes about this. Remember, 5 weeks ago, we were talking about they were unbeatable.
Yes.
There looks like something's not right there. I wouldn't say something's not right there, but they're going through a little time where they need to fix what they are failing at. And
I haven't seen them play since they beat somebody at PHC.
Well, we're going back. Let's go back to 3 or 4 weeks ago.
We were talking about it. I was going to say, remember then, he was coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Now, well, let's talk about it, because it's very important to recognize what's going on here with PHC. You know, you're gonna have some times where you're gonna dig in. You're gonna have some hard games, but your seniority in the game. We're talking about Antoine. I'm gonna let you go to that on this here about taking responsibility as a senior person to hold the ground, stay steady. There's gonna be times where it's not gonna do well, but let's just get through this period. Now, so what happens, I've seen in this country, and I keep referring to this team that we look unbeatable, then all of a sudden they have a few bad results, or they're not achieving that. So what you do is that let's see how we're gonna fix this, sir. Let's bring back the work ethic. Let's stop arguing. Let's make sure that we realize in these small periods of time of not doing well. Okay, let's take that and move on. And that's what I have a lot in this country here. Being really producing standards all the time. And it takes, you know, for our country, that's what it is. PHC had a standard, so now it seems like, okay, what are the players doing? We're going through this bad time. Let's just try to dig in, stay focused. You know, I'll tell you one thing. I thought I saw it against North Village. Somebody figured out, Kenny figured out, about how to really hard press them, make them have to really play, make them decide what they do with Marco Warren. He played so deep, but their decision. I don't know why they put him down to getting the ball off the center half and goalkeeper. But anyway, so they were tested. Now you're tested. Let's see what else we can do.
Well, let me just say, we had a quick chat after the game, Marco and I, and one of the things was he is taking that upon himself to do that because he realizes they don't have a ball distributor.
Well, Earl, my problem with that is this. So you're going to get one of your, that's like asking Messi to come back and take the ball off, come back and take the ball off Piqué in his play for Barcelona, and it's in areas that don't matter.
But the other problem is, and he kind of laid it out, and he said, I'm telling you what he said to me. He said, the problem is if I stay up and I don't get the service, what's the point? So he's trying to deliver the service to other players and then try to get up. So, I'm just coming full circle. I'm just making it clear that, we discussed this, sir. But that's up to coaching. How do you fix that? Right.
How do you fix that?
And that's what I think. With the coach, I think that's where, if he can get the ball up there, and the guys can do something with it, then it's better than them not getting the ball. Because if you look at it, their back four, and you saw that today, Maceo, their back four is just ball winners. They're not a deep field passing team kind of thing from the back. They just win the ball kind of thing and a clearance.
Now, Earl and Maceo, I'm gonna touch this subject about seniority and responsibility as a senior player to show that leadership qualities. Now, if we go back to when I was playing and I came through, I'm just giving my experiences with Joe Trott, my older Calvin, and there was no way I could back down. There's no way. Hey, dig in. The senior player, this is what we want from you. Leadership qualities. I think if Antoine, speaking on Antoine and his, what he can just go up to, that's for a younger person to do, not for a person at his age. I think leadership qualities, PHC have to stay steady, get back to what they were doing correct, right? And then go through the periods, like again, going through some bad patches. And I still think they are still formidable. They still are. But make sure you say they didn't play well. It's maybe we go blame it on maybe the Christmas period.
I keep coming back.
But there are chunks in the armor, and maybe it's showing up. And how do you fix that as a coaching aspect?
But I come back to big personalities, and you have to control big personalities. And big personalities in PHC will be Antoine Russell, it will be Trey Ming as well. These are big experienced personalities, and how do you manage these experienced personalities? And now when PHC was formidable, when they were unbeatable, when we was talking about them, in those holding midfield positions, they had a kid, Joe, and they had Raheem DeShields. So you had one ball winner, which was Joe, and you had a passer, which was Raheem, that could get the ball over in the last third to Marco Warren, to the wingers. All of a sudden, they went away from Joe. They went away from that. And actually, and then they had Trey Ming and Antoine Russell to come in the business area, the business part of the game, which was the last 30 minutes of the game, and finish teams off. They had that. All of a sudden, Trey Ming and Antoine Russell find themselves in the starting lineup. And now I see they're dominating that team. So you said it today, Errol. They was trying to get Antoine Russell. It's like Cristiano Ronaldo coming to United, right? They was trying to get Antoine Russell the ball even in bad situations. So now coaching has to manage that. You really have to figure out how to manage it. And it's not an easy management, right? But you have to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the other two games in the Premier Division. And then at the bottom of the hour, we're going to have a draw with some young people. We'll be right back.
John Barrett & Son, Bermuda's foremost distributor of fine beverages, is bringing on the joyful festivities this winter with Barrett Stone Ginger Beer. We've extolled the virtues of this traditional Bermudian drink before. It's refreshing and spicy and wonderful in the kitchen. Google cooking with ginger beer and you'll be amazed by the diversity and wow factor of the recipes. As our good friend Bruce Barrett says, bubbly, tasty, full of spice, refreshing and exciting. When it hits your taste buds, mate, full flavor is igniting. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
My inspiration to write this book has to do with empowering. I want people to understand what it looks like when you are in a position when you don't have the tools around you. If you know me or don't know me, the game, the beautiful game of football, soccer, is and always was a way out. I'm still fearful on what to do, what would happen if I say something.
What can we do in this book to incorporate tools to help specifically our group of young people in Bermuda?
Could you imagine doing a read with little people and breaking everything down for them and having them to have a voice and having conversation pieces, if it's chapter by chapter?
Welcome back. Well, at the Garrison Field, St. George's Colts would defeat Crossroads 2-0. This would have been the first match that St. George's would have played since the passing, since the incident of last weekend with Saji Bascom. But picking up a very important 3 points for St. George's was I think the order of the day. How do you think the whole day situation would have gone around with the players from the East End, Punchy?
Well, I know, again, my condolences to the family of the Baskin family. I know they, again, something to play for. Something to play a little bit more intensity with what happened, you know. But I still thought that if you look at what I said about the result, I think St. George's are heading in the right direction. I'm not a shutout today. And preparation and, you know, I just think that they are definitely, if they can get some other things right against the top teams, would have never been out of the game. They weren't out against North Village. But I think that those games are I expect St. George's to beat those games. And they did it. They did it.
Maceo, your thoughts?
Well, I know the coach, Giroux Haber, quite well. And he's what I call an outlier, right? Because he has a different thought process of how to do things than the normal piece. And I like that. I actually like that. I've talked to him a few times. His challenge was always, can he convince St. George's community to buy in it? So I saw how he handled some years ago the under-15 team that they had that was dominant. So he brought some of those youth players through that era. So now he's got an opportunity to work with those players at the senior level, you know. And as I said before, I only start buying into things when I see the result. You know, Bunch has been talking about St. George's, and now they're starting to produce the result that what he's talking about. And I got an earful also from Calvin Deal the other night. I was at a family function. I got an earful. He said that I'm putting a lot of pressure on him, and he taught me everything I know. And that's what he taught me. He taught me to play under pressure. He taught me to have to be under pressure. So I'm returning the things that he's taught me. I'm returning those things to him because, again, they're under pressure. They're under pressure to improve and to change. But I see it. I can see within the results that it's starting to happen. Now I want to see him play a bigger team. I want to see him play a bigger team. And
well, you won't have to wait too long because they play PHC on Tuesday.
Okay, that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I think you know, Earl and Maceo, you know, we was with my nephew there. He asked me, we talk a lot. I'm you know, giving some advice on that. But when you got people like Freddie Hall, David Signal, who's been playing for a while, you're talking seniority. So what you got is collective, what they're trying to achieve there. And I think you ever seen in small bits, look remember, they're only losing by, if they're winning, it's 2-1, 1-0. If they lose against somebody, it's 2-1 against, I think it was against Denny Town. But they're just, you know, what's happening now is organization. You got Neil Painter there. You got, you're going to have Herbie there, who's going to have information. Now you got a group of guys that are going to listen to this information and they're going to say, okay, one step at a time. This is what we're trying to do, survive, and win the odd game, FA Cup, whatever. But they are, I still think that they're on the right track. They're on the right track, really.
And then the final Premier Division match of the day was Devonshire Cougars defeating Devonshire Colts 5-0. We saw Devonshire Cougars women, but did we see 5-0? It's 2 weeks in a row that Devonshire Colts have given up 5 goals. It's got to be a big concern. I'm talking 180 minutes, and you're giving up 10 goals.
So, all right, Devonshire Colts is still Devonshire Colts. Okay, the still Devonshire Colts. Everybody knows what that means. Should I say it? Right, Smith? You know, shall I say it out loud? Right, Smith. The still Devonshire Colts. I actually thought they was going to be different. Now we had Ray on the show a few times, and we're asking some very difficult questions and about where Devonshire Colts doing, how they're going to stabilize. And Ray's made comments about, well, if he doesn't get the message across, Devonshire Colts might want to move away from him and go to the next opportunity. That conversation is probably coming up again. That's coming up again because they're not moving in the right direction. They're not moving in the right direction now with these lopsided scores. So even if you're losing, and Punchy's talked about it, St. George's was losing by 1 goal or odd goal. When you start to take 5, what that's saying is that from a player perspective, well, we're not believing anymore. That's what that message getting sent. We're not believing anymore, and this is what the results look like. And I also know that I watched Ray on the sidelines and is reminiscing. He actually got sent off last week, so he wasn't on the sidelines. So again, that distraction's coming. I don't know if that international beings his thought is starting to implement it. Is getting emotional about this now. He's in trouble.
Well, I mean,
Ray can't have conversations with the big boys yet.
Yeah, I to be honest, I don't know if remember he said he wasn't ready for that. He said he wasn't ready for that. He said give him a few weeks and if I'm not mistaken, he said give him a few weeks and then maybe he'll be ready. But as he indicated when he was last on, you know, he just wants to make some noise. Obviously, last week he made noise and he was sent to the stands. And this week he's made noise, but in the wrong way. You know that if you're looking at back-to-back 5s and you only scored 1 goal, you know it's making it very, very difficult for your team, you know, to kind of have that faith, have that trust, and of course they would have had players come back to help out in some regard, but again it's going to be tough. It's you know,
I would hate to see them slip back into their comfort zone, and what that comfort zone is the relegation zone. That could be a possible. That's been Colts' comfort zone for a long time. That relegation zone, and I really thought for a moment they was going the other way. Yeah.
But if you look at it, I mean, they've only lost 3 games. They lost to Tom 1-0. They lost to PHC last week 5-1. They lost to Cougars this week 5-0. But they've picked up 3 wins. You know, I'm sorry, they lost the first game. They lost to Somerset 4-0. So one of the things is when they lose, they're losing big.
They're losing big,
and that's got to be a worrying thing.
Yeah.
Trying to stop the goals from going in, and we talk about that all the time. I mean, we talked about Crossroads and the fact that you know. You've had the leading goal scorer for a number of years playing in Donovan Thompson, and he's struggling to find the net. I'm wondering if he's playing sweeper for that team as opposed to playing striker.
Well,
you
know? It's just amazing. We'll watch this game a lot. We've been you, myself, and Maceo. I spent lots of years watching development of football. Now, the game I went to today was Devonshire Cougars and Devonshire Colts. After 20 minutes, they were 3-0 down. They didn't adapt well to the conditions. I thought, well, you know what you should do is shut up the blindness, put 5 at the back, just make it very hard for Devonshire Cougars to get into areas that are going to create goals. So he opened the game up. They were open. The game was like an open game. And so when you're 3-0 down after 25 minutes, aren't you going to make an adjustment and say, listen, that's enough. That's enough. And I still think that there is a lack of quality in a lot of positions at Devonshire Coast. Even though they're trying to play that whatever that football style of football they have. I thought this little young man that plays center forward, his name is Shamal. I made a note of it. I think it's Shamal Henry.
He's a Henry.
Shamal.
He's got a
very, hey, I thought, whoa, there's something like, yeah.
There's something about him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But, yeah. No, I figured, let's block him out and take him and put him in another team. And with a very, but he stands out he stands out with Devonshire Coast and center forward. What I do not see about Devonshire Coast now is that even though they're trying to bring back some type of whatever Ray's doing there, he did it against North Village. He set his team up well. Why isn't he doing that again? Like, you're talking about 2 games and seeing 10 goals. So why don't we say, okay, what we're going to do is make it hard for you to beat us. Make it hard for you to beat us. It might not look like we can get out, you have all the possession, but then our one chance, we're going to beat you, which they did with North Village.
Sure.
So why that's kind of a problem for me with what I thought today.
But it brings up a point, right? Because Devonshire Colts has always wanted to play this way of North Village, and it's been a rivalry as to they can play the way of North Village. So if you look at it, when Devonshire Colts beat North Village, it was like their season, and they're not been right since they beat North Village. So now we go back, and after they beat North Village, I saw it. It was like a party. They like, okay, we're beat our idols per se. We're beat our idols, and now we're arrived. And they didn't handle that well. They didn't handle beating North Village well. And they're not going from strength to strength. They're actually going the opposite way after beating North Village.
Well, just like Earl and Maceo, I mean, me coming on the show, Earl and Maceo, we're kind of dissecting these problems that looking at, okay, well, like Maceo said about, okay, well, you beat North Village, which is, one of y'all. Yeah, we beat North Village. You came out and outsmarted us. You beat us. But what happens after that? Then you look at the quality that they have. The quality, I was like, those are the same guys that played against North Village. That's the same team, the same concept. He didn't have that concept has been lost for the last 2 games. So it's questionable. It was very questionable about them and what has happened for them in the last 2 games. And Ray, again, they're I don't know what's going to happen with Devonshire Colts. I really don't know.
It'll be interesting this week because they have some games that they could possibly win, but we'll see. What we're going to do is we're going to take another commercial break, and when we come back, Maceo, you could introduce the group coming on to do the draw. We'll be right back.
We're spotlighting a Bermudian company who produces staple foods and other essential products that are integral to our Bermudian way of life and are surprisingly affordable. Bermuda's Best products started out in the late 90s with Bermuda's Best codfish, which definitely got your attention. Then came Bermuda's Best mayonnaise, matching the heavy hitters in flavor and true to the Bermuda Best formula, low in price. Further diversification has ensued, resulting in the inception of Bermuda's Best concentrated laundry detergent, a special feature this month. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
My inspiration to write this book has to do with empowering. I want people to understand what it looks like when you are in a position when you don't have the tools around you. If you know me or don't know me, the game, the beautiful game of football, soccer, is and always was a way out. Still fearful on what to do, what would happen if I say something.
What can we do in this book to incorporate tools to help specifically our group of young people in Bermuda?
Could you imagine doing a read with little people and breaking everything down for them and having them to have a voice and having conversation pieces, if it's chapter by chapter?
Welcome back. Maceo, can you introduce this group?
Sure. You guys would know that Kenny Thompson for many, many years has been taking kids over to Spain. And it's not under one particular club. He's been taking Bermudian kids from different teams over to Spain in the younger age groups and exposing them. What you have here today is a group of parents in supportive of their kids. They joined forces from different clubs, and they came up with a raffle draw to raise funds for these kids to go and get exposed in places like Barcelona. So for me, that it's very warming for me when we see football people working together at these foundational years to expose their kids, to big opportunities. And we have to give kudos to people like Kenny Thompson that undertakes these type of projects. And with this project, like I said, there's been many clubs that are joint forces to make sure these young ones have these type of opportunities. So without further ado, you three kids that are sitting there and getting ready, and what they're going to do today is just the final raffle draw, because they did a raffle and they raised significant funds to support the kids. Just starting from the left there, with the kid Ziani. Introduce yourselves to the camera, please, one by one. And bring the other kid back into the camera as well.
He's not part of the raffle.
Okay, sure. Go ahead, Ziani.
My name is Ziani Dennis.
Speak up so I can hear you, please.
My name is Ziani Dennis, and I play for North Village.
What's your name, young man?
My name is Brayton Brown, and I play for North Village also.
Okay, great. So what they're going to do, they're going to spring the raffle, and they're going to announce the winners on TV. There you go.
This is for a $300 grocery voucher for Linda's.
So my name comes out. It'll be like a fix or setup.
B-Man MC Ganugu.
Does it have a phone number?
704-606-3, and the raffle number is 1288.
Okay. Next raffle?
This one is for golf for two rounds of golf, including the card at Ocean View Golf Course.
Miss White.
Liz Twite.
I know Miss White.
Liz Twite, yes. Raffle number 1758. One more for golf. We have another round of golf. 2 rounds of golf, sorry, for 2 people. Ocean View Golf Course, on part included. Zan, Sudal, and Zan, 0442. Now we're going to do the one night stay for 2 at Hamilton Princess in the deluxe garden view room.
Maceo deal. Come on.
Ralph Burrows. 0612.
That's a great Ralph.
Yes, that's Ralph. Yes.
Ralph's probably watching on Facebook.
And that's it. We did the other 30 something prior to the show. I don't know if you want us to read the winners.
You could post it. You could.
Yeah.
you're gonna post the winners on the Facebook page?
I'm gonna post them on the Facebook page as well as WhatsApp the winners tonight.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Congratulations to all the winners, and congratulations to you, young men. Keep up the good work. We look forward to reading and seeing you as you get older in whatever endeavors you decide to do and play for. Okay?
Yeah.
I hope you got everything you needed and wanted for Christmas.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. Well done, you guys. Well done.
Well done, guys. Well done.
Thank you. All righty. Well, guys, let's jump right back into, because we do have picks and there's going to be a lot of them, but we don't want to ignore the first division today at Southampton Oval. Maceo was almost silenced, Punchy. And when I say almost silenced, he keeps claiming Paget will not win a game. Well, I can tell you they were a matter of, I believe, I'm going to get this right, 10 minutes away from that. They were leading Wolves 2-1.
It's leading them 2-0 at first.
The 80th minute. And they had and Paget still had opportunities to score again. So that match ended 2-2. But again, as I said to you last week, Maceo, there's always going to be a game where a team that hasn't put it all right will put it right, and a team will underestimate them. And it almost it came close today to happening. I mean, Wolves. I mean, was that Lloyd Holding goal for Paget?
That was the Lloyd Holding. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, I
mean, let hold on. I've got an announcement to make as well. I've been speaking to the heels, I've been speaking to the leads, and I've been speaking to the minuses from Wolves.
Yeah.
Just letting the Wolves players know it's a check that's going to happen at Hammertons Road. Is a roadblock, and none of the Wolves players are allowed back into Hammertons Road until they set this right. And that's by order of management. That's by order of management. The leagues, minuses, all right, and goes down there by order of management. And Hop Day from Wolves will be monitoring the roadblock.
He is trying to coach from the stands.
Right. He will be monitoring the roadblock. None of the Wolves players, with all the quality that Wolves have,
right,
they're not going to be allowed back in it. But that's a lack of preparation and preparing your players for this match. And kudos to Paget, because they know they have to prepare for each match. They know they have to prepare for each match. They know they cannot leave any stone unturned because they have to prepare. And I had a conversation with the coach at Wolves, and he uses language these players. Coaches, you have to trigger your players to get them where you want. That's the part of coaching. It's not good enough to know the game. It's not good enough because all of us know the game. Each one of us fans know the game. A good coach learns how to trigger his players and get them to where he needs them to be, whatever he has to do. I'm not going to tell you some of the things that I'm done to get players where I'm about to get them to. I'm not going to be able to, I can't tell you on TV what I'm done to get players where they have to get. You have to get them there. You have to figure out how to get them there. That's your responsibility to coach.
Yeah, Punch.
Let me get my take on this with Wolves. I think we talked about this before.
Yeah.
I told you when I first started the show, when I meant to move to England, and what I saw, and I'm sure Macy and I had this conversation about organization. What I thought I knew very little. Because I got my badges early, Yeah. Kudos to my brother, helped me out. I got my badges with but the problem is I was still learning. And now, we're figuring this stuff out, and we're saying, okay, Wolves. We talked about this here. Organization. Who's in charge of them? Who runs them? Who's coaching them? Because they have talent. The problem is, we're going to start pointing fingers and says, well, maybe it's the person in charge of the team is not doing the right things. That's why they are where they are. Because they should have won that game hands-on against Patrick with the talent that they have.
Yeah.
And so we're being honest here. And we're being honest. That's all it is. About the person. That's what I think Wolves should be in another level. When if Dennis Brown was there, organization, knowing what to prepare the team like, it's like, wow, what's happening now? And I think that's what we're talking about now in this country. I was surprised in St. David's School, Vesco. You know, it's about we are now got these coaches, got these benches, but are they really doing what? How are you going to make this team better? What are you doing to get them to the next level? Are you organizing them right for the next game? And so now it's like, yeah, we guys are sitting there talking about this, sir, and we're asking questions of this. And Wolves is another example of, well, if they're going to play against Andrew, you know, we'll figure out Social Club will beat, we're talking about Social Club will beat maybe even Rangers in maybe FA Cup game. Or Wolves will probably beat the team like maybe Southampton, maybe Suns and Eagles in an FA qualifier. But that's only one game. What have they done with the talent that they have? So I'm very disappointed in what I see with the results that Wolves have achieved thus far.
Well, you mentioned the St. David's Vasco. Vasco went all the way down to Lords and came out empty-handed. St. David's getting a goal in the second half, late in the second half, to win that 1-0. I mean, again, a team that you never know what you're going to get from time to time. I mean, they went to Malabar last week and got a 1-0 win. They go home and got a 1-0 win. But 2 weeks ago, Mason, you were saying they were cricketers. They needed to take the cricketers with them.
I must have upset them. they must have got upset. And
another week they had my cricket pads on.
Yeah, you know hey man, I tell you, I've seen St. David's pray to the ancestors. I've seen them call on the spirit of the ancestors. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes in cricket, and they might be learning it in football. And I better actually, you know what? I better not speak too soon. You know, let's see the cricket club. Let's see the cricket club, and let's see if they can prove me different.
Yeah.
They're in St. George's. Let's see if they can prove me different.
Yeah. Punchy, did you get to see Hamilton Parish play Boulevard earlier today?
No, I didn't. But I talked to someone that's seen the whole game. Who saw the game. The first half of Boulevard were really in it. They were in that game. And then all of a sudden something's went bad, and then the coach and then people start arguing, the players start arguing amongst themselves. Again, similar to what you experienced at Wolves. Who's in charge of the team? Again, what about got these raw players? Yeah, and any day they will show up, and if they were just organized right, they would be pretty good. I don't want to job down there. No, I don't. I don't want to job at Boulevard. I don't want to job at Wolves. But I'm saying to you, it's the same problem that Wolves and Boulevard have. This raw talent, but not organized right. So they were in the game for the first. They had chances, but after that they fell apart. Coaches, people cussing. I heard, typical Bermuda conversation. Oh, the players start cussing one another. The coaches cussing players off. Fall apart. Yeah. And then Hamilton Parish with the organization, especially, they just steady, and they won the game. So that's something that I was like, look, I was expecting this result.
I mean, I always knew Parish would be too structured and too strong over 90 minutes for Boulevard. And speaking of Boulevard, for the type of personality I am, I'm attracted to those players. Like I've been asked to coach down there. And there is an attraction because of the quality of the player. It is even for me that's something I'm attracted to, and I was always even attracted to that quality of player at North Village. I mean, Keith Jennings played out of me the whole season. Kevin Jennings, Tariq, all of those type of players that have personality, and I'm attracted. I am very much attracted to them. But Boulevard needs more than somebody like me. They need a whole team of, and I'm interviewing people on a different platform about the psychological pieces of it and all those things, how you bring all that together. how you bring those things together. But they have Bermuda's best individual quality players. They do. There's a kid that, you know what, I used to coach him at the youth, and I don't even call him by his running name. I call him Balotelli. I called him Balotelli when he was 13, and that name stuck with him. He plays for Boulevard, and I'm forgot. You know, he also had a stint at Dennytown, and I'll get his correct name, but I'm just always calling him Balotelli because he was like Balotelli, the Italian, that can give you brilliance. He can give you brilliance, but then Balotelli burns down his house. He off the field.
No, I would.
So how do you, and Jose Mourinho's got a very funny story about Balotelli. He's a very funny little kid, and he says, Balotelli, I'm going to give you a laugh about him. And he talked about a Champions League game with Balotelli that he said, Balotelli, you're the last striker that I have. Everybody else is injured and off the field. You got a yellow card. I'm going to keep you on the field for 90 minutes. Please don't tackle. Don't say nothing to the ref. Just let it go. So Mourinho said, well, what happened? 5 minutes, he was off the field for a tackle in the second half. 5 minutes. Those type of players, right? Those type of players, it's just like, well, what you live and die with them, right? But you have to figure out, and Boulevard need organization. Andrew Bascom did it for Boulevard in the 80s and the 90s because it wasn't no different. The Boulevard players were no different in the 80s and 90s. But you took an Andrew down there that knew how to psychologically impact those players. And, he got the results. He got the results out of Roy Stevens. He got the results of the Casey brothers, Kenny Hill. He didn't have a proper goalkeeper. He had a goalkeeper that they call Mumbly Fumbly. If you call a goalkeeper Mumbly Fumbly, that's a situation, isn't it? That's a situation if you're calling a goalkeeper Mumbly Fumbly. But he won the league with him.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take another commercial break. When we come back, we'll look at our picks from today, and we'll get into a week long of football that I don't think anybody be saying that they haven't seen football in a while after this week coming up. We'll be right back.
John Barrett & Son, Bermuda's foremost distributor of fine beverages, is bringing on the joyful festivities this winter with Barrett Stone Ginger Beer. We've extolled the virtues of this traditional Bermudian drink before. It's refreshing and spicy and wonderful in the kitchen. Google cooking with ginger beer and you'll be amazed by the diversity and wow factor of the recipes. As our good friend Bruce Barrett says, bubbly, tasty, full of spice, refreshing and exciting. When it hits your taste buds, mate, full flavor is igniting. Lynn knows, why go anyplace else?
My inspiration to write this book has to do with empowering. I want people to understand what it looks like when you are in a position when you don't have the tools around you. If you know me or don't know me, the game, the beautiful game of football, soccer, is and always was a way out. Still fearful on what to do, what would happen if I say something.
What can we do in this book to incorporate tools to help specifically our group of young people in Bermuda?
Could you imagine doing a read with little people and breaking everything down for them and having them to have a voice and having conversation pieces, if it's chapter by chapter?
Welcome back. Well, again, gentlemen, it was a very interesting day. We started off with Devonshire Colts versus Devonshire Cougars. Myself, Punchy, Maceo, we all took Devonshire Cougars. Nikita was looking for a draw. Unfortunately for her, Devonshire Colts couldn't pull it off. Then it was Crossroads versus St. George's Colts. We all took St. George's Colts. And Southampton Rangers versus PHC, we all took PHC, and that was the Premier Division, 3 matches today. In the First Division, Hamilton Parish versus Boulevard, we all took Hamilton Parish. Paget versus Wolves, We all took Wolves. So we all got that one wrong. And then St. David's versus Vasco. Punchy and Nikita both took St. David's. Maceo, you and I took Vasco. So at the end of it, out of the 6 matches.
Did I take St. David's? I thought I took Vasco. I took St. David's.
No, you took Vasco. You and I took Vasco last week live.
I thought I took Vasco. I'm sorry.
I thought Punchy took Vasco.
I took Vasco.
I took St.
Check it out.
I wrote ours down as we were doing the show with Maceo.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right.
I'll go back to yours. I'll go back to yours, Punchy.
Give me a spoken, maybe. Yep, that's good.
I might have to go back to the film because I after St. David's being one, I said that could beat Vasco. I think Punchy took Vasco, but I have to go back to the film.
But Punchy weren't on the show last week.
Okay, right. Right.
Punchy, you did take Vasco. Sorry.
Yeah, I did. I said, I did. Yes, I did.
Basically, we were on live last week, so everybody got 4.
It's getting the business end of the season. I'm not playing around no more. This is the business. If bonuses happening here, I'm on. Yeah.
So Punch is leading with 33. Maceo and Kita on 31. I have 28.
Yeah.
So now, looking at tomorrow, the derbies continue. Somerset Eagles are home to Somerset Trojans. We're going to do Premier Division first. So Somerset Eagles are at home to Somerset Trojans. Punchy.
I'm taking Somerset. I'm going to Somerset.
Both of them Somerset.
I'm going to Somerset. I'm taking Somerset. I'm taking Somerset on this one. Even though they're playing it.
Both of them Somerset. You taking Eagles or Trojans?
I'm taking Somerset.
Somerset Trojans.
No, I'm taking Somerset Trojans.
Yeah. Okay, Trojans. Okay.
Sorry about that. Somerset Trojans. Yeah, Somerset Trojans. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Maceo?
Yeah, Somerset's got to beat Somerset Eagles, man. Somerset Trojans, they have to beat Somerset Bridge. I'm taking Somerset Trojans. Trust me. Jamal, you let me down. I'm telling you, Jamal, I'm looking for you.
Well, I'm going to take Somerset Trojans as well. Then at Bernard Park, North Village Rams will take on Dandy Town. Maceo?
Boy. You know what, man? That match at North Village is always a heated historical match. North Village and Dandy Town. You know, it is.
Remember, North Village will be playing without Jalen Harvey, who was sent off last week.
Jalen Harvey sent off. But North Village, I don't think they know the quality of the players that they had on the bench and how they can put that puzzle piece together. I'm not sure that they're aware of how to put the puzzle piece. And when I saw who they have available and how they could put that piece together, I can easily put that puzzle piece together, but I don't think the coaching staff is aware of those kids' history because, again, those kids develop outside Bermuda, and they're not as aware. So I don't see North Village putting that puzzle piece together tomorrow. And Dannytown know how to put that puzzle piece together. Dannytown's the walk of wounded right now because that's why I'm balancing this thought process because they're the walk of wounded. Sequoia struggles to get through a season. Last week also their captain came off injured. You know, those are big losses as to how they sort that out. But I'm thinking Danny Thompson's gonna put that puzzle together regardless of what they got. They're gonna factor in the injury, they're gonna factor in everything, and they're gonna put that puzzle together. They can hammer North Village tomorrow, you know. They really could hammer North Village tomorrow. But I think Danny Thompson's just gonna edge this game out. So I'm picking Danny Town.
I've already typed in Danny Town. Punchy?
Look, you know it's close to my heart. You know what? It's close to my heart. There's so much questions to be asked. Listen, if you get a result last week against Southampton Rangers 2-2, and they could have lost that game also.
Mm-hmm.
So Kenny Survey, we're talking about 5 games, the lost 4, and they've drawn 1 that against Southampton Rangers they would have expected to win.
Mm-hmm.
So there's questions in terms of who's in charge of the team now. And those questions have got to be asked. Why the results are not being achieved with Kenny away? I don't even know if Kenny's back yet.
No, he's not going to be back for the game tomorrow.
Okay. What I've noticed about that team with the people in charge of the team now. I'm not gonna make this personal, of course. I'm gonna make sure we keep this straight. When you have results that with people in charge of a team, and the results are not, which should have been achieved but not been achieved, then you're gonna ask, well, why is it that it's not achieved? So what I see in North Village is that right now they're in a little trouble here. The people in charge of the team. I mean, kudos to Devray. I wish him the best, and my son Jamiko. I wish, but these results matter. Do they have quality players? What do they have there? How are they not achieving results that should have been against Somerset Eagles and Devonshire Coast? Are you blaming the players? Or teams not set up right? So to me, there is a problem that we're having at North Village, and I say we. Now you see, I'm incorporating we. So we're looking at its true results. We're looking at the results that they've achieved, and it's not acceptable. It's not, well, maybe because with the players that they have, you put somebody else in charge of the same players, would you get a better result? So that's my problem with North Village right now.
That's what I talk about, because again, as a coach,
yeah,
you have to know your players and you know their triggers. So I realize as to be a successful coach or a manager, you know your players and you know their triggers. I think North Village has the players now to compete better than they have it, but it's just knowing their triggers and where to put them.
And I say to you now, I'm going to say, what I saw last week, they look disorganized and they look disorganized at certain times. When the game was tight, when they should be shutting up, they should have never been behind against Southampton Rangers. Sorry, Streaker, but they shouldn't have been. With the players that you have, especially up the front 3, and the thing that I got last week with the young player that came from England, Mr. Richardson, he showed so much quality in the senior players at the top half of the field that they're just not doing what they're supposed to do, the correct things, doing the correct things. And I'm saying to you guys, sir, about tomorrow, if they don't get this right defensively, they might have to put 5 guys behind put the older team on play and counterattack against any time. Plus, it's a smaller field. North Village field is not that big. So those mistakes that I'm giving Danny time to win this. I'm giving Danny time to win this about maybe about a 3-1 or 4-1.
Okay. All right. Then we move to Tuesday at Devonshire Recreation Club. Devonshire Cougars are at home to Southampton Rangers. I'm taking Devonshire Cougars. Punchy?
I'm taking Devonshire Cougars. And the reason why I'm taking Devonshire Cougars, what I saw today, Kwame they didn't play that well. They scored. They weren't all that good, but it's just that Devonshire Cougars were real bad today. But I played at home. I still see something that Kwame is doing there. You see, there's still a lack of quality in certain parts of the field that but there's something there with Devonshire Cougars. And so I'm picking Devonshire Cougars for this one, for sure.
Mayfield?
Kwame is back in his natural habitat and is adapted fast. Is adapted fast. You see, I mean, although they didn't play well, they're a momentum team and they put 5 in Colts. If those Cougars, if they sense blood, they're gonna rip you apart just like a Cougar. And they're gonna rip Rangers to pieces, man. They're gonna rip Rangers to pieces. And one thing I know about Kwame as I'm watching, he will prepare. He's animated, he's everything. He will know as one, even in his career, he prepared to figure out how to get to the back post and make blindside runs and score headers. He prepared well. That's what Kwame does. He prepares well. And that's why he's adapted fast. And Cougars now become a threat to Dannytown. They're the new threat. They're moving, in my mind, they're moving in front of PHC as the threat now.
Okay. And then PHC, this is on Tuesday, PHC Zebras are at home to St. George's Colts. Punchy.
If St. George is set up right, they set themselves up right in terms of what they're going to do against the against PHC. I think they're capable of getting up and getting a point. They're capable of getting a point out of that. I don't know. Yeah, they're capable of getting a point if they set themselves up right. They come with the right mentality, knowing what they have to do against PHC. And there are some things, and I'm saying to you, that they can do that will probably give PHC a little bit something to think about. So I'm going for a draw.
Okay. All right. Maceo?
PHC is not right now. They're not right. I see it. The rhythm's not there. They're not right now. I can see it. And St. George's is pushing in the opposite direction of being right. St. George's they got extra incentive. They got very extra incentive with the passing of a Saji. So they're gonna play beyond themselves. And St. George's right now know if they beat PHC, that's what they need right now to be able to beat PHC. So Maceo calls them a football team, not a cricket team. I'm putting pressure on the St. George's community. They're gonna beat PHC. I'm picking St. George's. They're gonna beat. Emotions is an important thing in this game. I'm gonna tell you, emotions are important things. I used to make up emotional stuff for my team. I used to make it up so that I get certain players on a high. I'm picking St. George's.
Well, for the same reasons, Maceo, I've taken St. George's, and many would say, well, you always take St. George's. But yeah, I've taken St. George's. On Wednesday evening, Somerset Eagles will entertain Devonshire Colts at the Somerset Cricket Club. Maceo, you're up.
Eagles are gonna beat. Eagles knows if they inflict pain on Colts,
yes,
they just might have a hope. And Colts is like a magnet to the relegation sin. It's like a magnet. It's comfort sin. I call it comfort sin. That's where they're comfortable. Eagles.
Okay. I'm actually going to take Devonshire Colts on this. And my reasons being that they have the extra day to prepare. The extra day to rest. You know that Somerset Eagles, Somerset Trojans match is going to take a lot out of both teams. And when I say a lot, because that's a big, big rivalry. And if Eagles can play out of their skin, I don't know how much they'll have left for 2 days later. So I'm taking Devonshire Colts. Punchy?
I'm taking Somerset Eagles on this.
Okay.
Yeah, playing up. Yeah, I'm taking Somerset Eagles on this.
Okay.
I don't know what Devonshire going to do to fix the problem that they have. That's something they do. But Somerset Eagles, even after that 2-day rest, I still think that they playing in their own territory. Yeah, and this Somerset Eagles guys, they're familiar with playing up in Somerset. It's like, yeah, they feel at home. When you come to the West End, I don't care if you play Somerset Eagles at Somerset, you're gonna have a game there. So I'm picking Somerset Eagles on that one.
Okay. And then the other match on Wednesday night, it is Robin Hood hosting the Dandytown Hornets. I am taking the Dandytown Hornets. I just think they have a bit too much for Robin Hood at this time. Punchy?
I'm picking, same thing, Dandytown. Just what they have to play for. Why I always thought that the guy's in charge of the team now. He's going to bring something else. Again, with his advice that he's getting from the backroom staff. It's probably even told Scott Boyd what to do, with the ball. So I'm picking Dandytown for this. They're going to get past these periods where they're not playing well, but they're going to do something that's just going to get them over, get them over. And then you got with what they have, the center forward, Simmons, Angelo. Yes, yeah. And you got my grandson's brother back, Judah. Who's going to start playing again.
Right.
So I just think they'll get that's Denny Tom for that result. Denny Tom.
Maceo?
Denny Tom's gonna win this league professionally. Trust me, I'm watching the professional behaviors.
Mm.
And we call ourselves amateur, but I watch the professional behaviors and the professional approach coming out of Denny Tom. That's what I saw at PHC at the beginning. And now I'm watching PHC transition to the amateur behavior.
Mm.
Denny Tom is continue implementing the professional behavior, how they manage the players, how they make substitutes. I watched PHC today make substitutes and switch around 4 players. Like all of a sudden, Antoine Russell's going playing in midfield, is going this, is going there. And like I said, that's why I said I thought PHC was out purpose playing football today.
Mm.
And
that's professional right now.
And I
balance.
I'm sorry, Mace. And something else earlier, Maceo, when you add a little bits to the team of what Denny Tom is, if you had Judah, who's been away, you remember Judah Vale. Judah's played overseas. He was playing. Look where he's played at. Whatever for any reasons he's back here. And so you add that little bit of element with that. That's a little bit because you will see something that Judah has. So add that with what Denny Tom has with organization. It's gonna be like I said, whatever's being you can see the holes. You can see when you put that structure together with Denny Tom and analyze. You say, oh, they can fix that with this player coming in. They can fix that with PHC. That's not. I don't think they can fix those certain things. That is not. I don't know if they're capable of fixing it when they are not playing well. When they need to settle down and just stick this out. Denny Tom have the puzzle. They've got pieces to their puzzle that they can just plop out and say, okay, let's put that there. And that's what I think why they are where they are now.
Take the young kid Kamali, I think his name. Kamali that plays for Denny Tom. He had trouble at Rangers under Jamar. He had trouble with different clubs. He's now being managed properly. He's being managed properly. I saw a game where the game got a bit tough, and historically, this is where he would go south. He did not go south. And Punch, you would know, me and you both, that players that were at Boulevard or Cougars, when they wanted to go to a different level, they came to North Village, and they couldn't misbehave. And that's happening at Denny Tom. You cannot misbehave. You cannot misbehave because they will replace you. They will put somebody else. So they are developing a structure where they can't misbehave.
Exactly.
And I see it professionally. Happening and rolling out with Denny Tom. And I got a great balance.
Well, you guys, we talk. I'm so glad again we have this conversation about what if we had a semi-pro league, and I say, okay, this is what I do for North Village. We need a good center forward. We'll buy Shamal Henry from Devonshire Coast for a whole year. All you're gonna do is put the ball to go for us. You know what I mean? It will be, but again, it's so glad to have this show because we're just picking it. We're just all we're doing is asking questions. Putting a little what we know about what should happen, and so I'm glad to be part of this. And again, that's where we're at. I think the country's heading in the right direction in terms of the national program. I talk to people. I'm just going off because with the national program, the young men are coming back from England and playing, and they're showing quality. They're showing what we lack in homegrown players. And it's like, okay, well, this is our problem. But at least we're starting to understand that the problems that we have at the senior level, at top team like Cougars and stuff, when you bring these young players back, and you're saying, wow, look at this difference here. So that's it. That's in a nutshell what I'm trying to say.
Thursday night up at the Somerset Cricket Club. Somerset Trojans will entertain North Village Rams. Punchy, you're up first.
If North Village don't get past on Monday, which I don't think they will, they'll go to Somerset and they're going to be wounded. I don't think they have the leadership qualities on the field right now, especially in certain parts of the field where it matters. Scoring goals. But I think they're still solid at the back. I think though. But what they lack is that they from the midfield up, they lack leadership. And so if they lose tomorrow and they have to go to Somerset, I'm gonna tell you, I just think that they're gonna lose that game of Somerset too. So I'm putting Somerset on this one.
Okay. Maceo?
Jamal Wilkinson knows how to beat North Phillies for fun. Always has. He knows what they don't like and what they do like. It can take away what they do like. And this current regime of North Village and the standing coaching staff, they're used to North Village in sunny days. They're very used to North Village in sunny days. They're not used to North Village when it's raining. And they're not going to know what to do when it's raining. You know, you have to work harder. If you're in a race and you're behind, you have to run faster or work harder. And they're not used to having to work harder. So Somerset's going to take North Village, and then they're not. North Village is going to have another conversation. They're going to have a conversation that they don't want to have, that I don't want to have, but they're going to have to face a conversation. You know, I know if I was in this situation, I will be screaming the doors down about the changes that have to happen. But you know, Andrew used to always say, let's see if you pray for it. Yeah, pray for it and see if you can get it. you know, let it come. Yeah, pray for it. Yeah, pray for it. I just say, you go pray. I'm going to work. And that's not back to anybody in any religion or anything. I'm going to work. But this couple group, North Village players, are not used to this type of work.
I'm going to surprise a lot of people with this pick, but I'm picking Somerset for the second time in a matter of 10, 15, 20 minutes. So, yeah, I'm going to take Somerset as well. Then, Saturday, January 1st, Southampton Rangers are at home to the Dandytown Hornets. Maceo, you're up first.
So Dandytown beat Southampton Rangers, you can take the trophy to them right there, because if one team that can upset Dandytown, I don't know, like I'm supposed to Jim, Gino Phipps, Dwayne Talbot, all the Dandytown faithful, Lewis, Cecil Lewis, you know, I spoke to all these guys as a relay. Nobody dare talk about Rangers.
That's been a jinx team for them.
They will not talk about Rangers.
No. In the last few years, they've got it out of Rangers with a 1-0 win or a 2-1 win.
They will not dare talk about Rangers in a bit. Like when you say Rangers, it's like a voodoo, like kryptonite. So it's like Superman and kryptonite. As soon as you say Rangers around those guys, they're like, hold on. They get you see the body language changes, everything. But Dandytown's gotta beat Rangers, man. They gotta beat Rangers. So I'm picking Dandytown. And if they beat Rangers, you can take the trophy to them. After that, you can give them the trophy if they beat Rangers. They gotta be able to beat Rangers, man.
I've actually already written in that Dandytown will beat Southampton Rangers.
Yeah.
Punchy?
It's Dandytown, hands down. You know, it's about what's happening now. The quality that Southampton Rangers have compared to what Dandytown are. I tell you, they're heading in the right direction. They will think about. They will help. I'm sure the coaching staff will have a discussion. What is the taboo team? Oh yeah, Rangers. But in terms of quality, where I saw Rangers against North Village, they leave spaces, the open, and North Village were just not good at all, containing them. That game should have been over in the first half. But Dandytown will put them to the sword, and I'm definitely. And I know it's going to be, you know, with the people that follow, and also you got to look at the crowd too. You know, It's a rivalry, young teams. You know, but I think Dandytown got too much for that. Dandytown hands down with that.
Sure. And the other match taking place on New Year's Day is the PHC Zebras hosting the Devonshire Cougars. I've actually put it down as a draw. Punchy?
Well, that's that. Hey, you know what? Where's
that game to? Earl? Where's that game to?
PHC Stadium.
It's up PHC Stadium. It's up PHC. See, Kwame, it's always hard to do this homework. I just see they weren't at the best today. Trust me. Cougars. They win the best. That's gonna be a tight one. And I'm going for a draw. I'm going for a draw with that one.
Okay. Maceo?
After St. George's beat PHC, they're going to implode. They're going to capitulate. They're going to totally capitulate after St. George's beat PHC. So I picked St. George's to beat PHC, and Cougars are going to put the final piece in PHC, and they're going to send them back. They're going to send PHC back to the drawing board. Again, I went to the PHC game. I see the fans. I sense once the fans change. Once the fans change, you don't usually get them back.
Right.
Yeah, you don't usually get them back once they change. Once they had enough, don't underestimate the power of the fans. And I see St. George's, PHC's fans, they had enough.
Well, the next one is one that should be very, very interesting, which is Sunday, January 2nd. Somerset Eagles are at White Hill Field to entertain Crossroads. Punchy?
Yes, Crossroads. I'm not Crossroads. I'm Somerset Eagles.
Okay, all right.
Listen, I've heard conversations about what's happening at Crossroads all over the place. I tell you, when the coach, when they were doing well, and he left to go to England, the Moroccan coach, he's just fine. Well, who's going to replace? Who's going to do this? Hey, look at the results in the last couple. Look at the results. I think Crossroads, they're not nowhere where they were. I don't know who's coaching that team, but no, Somerset Eagles will beat them. I'm very sure of that.
Sure. Maceo?
That's a hard one. Somerset Eagles going to beat North Phillips this year, right? Yeah.
Yes. But you picked them to beat Devonshire Coast on Wednesday.
Yeah, I picked them to beat Devonshire Coast on Wednesday because Devonshire Coast headed in another direction. I was thinking they was going to beat North Phillips because they was gonna, in their mind, they was beating Kenny. Yeah. Right. They found that motivation. I'm picking a draw for that one. Both of these teams are not going to figure out how to win.
I've actually taken Somerset Eagles on this.
Yeah, I'm picking a draw for that one.
And then on Sunday, St. George's Colts will entertain Devonshire Colts at the Wellington Oval. Maceo, you are first.
After St. George's Colts beats PHC, they're going to think they're going to win cup match. They're going to think they'll say, well, we're ready to win cup match back again. And they're going to take Devonshire Colts too. They're going to feel invincible.
Now you're putting them back to being a cricket team.
Yeah. Do I tell them they got to convince me that they're not a cricket team yet? I'll stop talking about cricket and football when they convince me. I won't mention cricket no more in the same light as football. But once they convince me, I'll early start talking about football.
Okay. All right. Punchy?
I'm taking St. George's. They're going again. It's just another way. I think I saw some. Let's go back a year ago, 2 years ago, when I went watch when St. George's and Devonshire Coast were ready for promotion, and I saw Devonshire Coast beat them 3-0 at St. George's.
Right.
But it's a whole change now. The coaching staff has changed at St. George's. There seems to be more direction, more organization. I'm taking St. George's for this game. They're gonna do the homework. And again, I think they're gonna in certain parts of the field they have better players.
Right.
So I'm picking St. George's for this.
And to no one's surprise, I've taken St. George's as well. Okay, the final Premier Division match on January 2nd, a week from today. Robin Hood will take on North Village at BAA Field. I'm actually going to take North Village. Punchy?
I'm the same. I'm going back to the game against tomorrow. If they get to the game tomorrow with something, hold their heads up high, with a draw, then they go up to Somerset, and they get a result in Somerset, then I'll pick North Village. But it's still, if they don't get to these two games, they're going to be in trouble against Robin Hood. So confidence will go. So that game, I would pick North Village by the slim margin.
Okay. Maceo.
So I know the players that North Village are going to have back at their availability. They have them now. They have those players at their availability now. They have Detroit Bow. He should be the national goal score goalkeeper. So he's going to bring organization. They have him coming into the game this week, so he's back on our island. After they lose these two games, one against Dandytown and against Somerset, that's when North Village are going to get over the stubborn piece that they have and say they have to do something different than what they've been doing all this time. So, they have Jarrett Richardson, they have Jakeem Jennings that's coming back, that's back. They have Shai Jennings, they have Tamai Jennings, they have Sadeo Deal. They're going to have proper North Village players at their disposal. And I think when it comes around to the Robin Hood game, that's when they're going to say, well, we have to use proper North Village players. And once they figure out how to use proper North Village players, they're going to put Robin Hood to the sword. Because what's going to be on North Village's back, I could get relegated. I didn't want to say that word. I didn't want to say that word because I don't really like that word because North Village is the only club that's not been relegated. But once you put that on their back, that's when they'll decide to respond. Kapanchi knows about the response out there in Chirac when we had that on our back, what we had to do to get that back. I know personally about the time that I scored a goal to when North Village was in that zone when they had to do something very different from what they was doing in the norm. So I see these historical pieces happening.
Now the funny part is, you guys have picked Somerset Eagles to win 2 games, right?
Right.
If they win those 2 games, they will, just before I put my mouth on it, they will have 9 points. North Village right now have 8 because you've picked North Village to lose 2 games.
Exactly.
And it comes down to this particular game. If North Village lose it and if Eagles win, because you picked Eagles to beat Crossroads and you've picked Eagles to beat Devonshire Colts.
Right.
But you picked them to lose tomorrow. So be very, very interesting. Very interesting.
That's going to make it interesting. If you get a club like North Village in that position, it's going to make it very interesting.
Yeah.
They're going to have to call on the ancestors. I might get a consulting room.
Well, all we're doing is just questioning what's going on there at the club and what's happening, and results are not satisfactory, especially, so it's pressure. And what do you do under pressure? What do you do? And that's the question that's being asked. Whether people want to accept that responsibility of what they need to do, it's on them. But it's really come down to what we're talking about. You asked me what I think. You have to make sure what he thinks. I'm saying they have to turn this around, and that relegation issue, it can change just like that for them, especially with players, the personality in their team. Do they have the gumption? Do they have the quality? What they're going to do in the next 2 games, because they're going to be up against it. So anyway, you guys, again, we'll see tomorrow. Really interesting prospects here. What's going on?
Now let's quickly go down the first division. Tomorrow, BAA take on Island Rangers. Puncher, you're up.
What's the game being played to?
At BAA.
BA.
Maceo?
Andrew is super excited because he's also got his college kids back. He's got some kids back that are a bit stronger. He's gonna go there. He's gonna now bully. He's gonna bully Island Rangers now. BA all the way. He's gonna bully them.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's happened up Island Rangers. They won. I don't know what happened. Something happened. I'm gonna investigate.
And I'm taking BA as well. Tuesday, Wolves take on the Boulevard Blazers.
Jesus.
Maceo?
Jesus. Well, remember, Wolves can't train because they can't go down Hermitage Road, right? So they can't train. Boulevard's going to put them to the sword, man. Watch. Boulevard's going to put them to the sword. Boulevard. I'm picking Boulevard. Like it could be like 5-4, something like that. Boulevard.
I'm actually going to take this as a draw. Punchy?
I'm taking it as a draw. That's a draw.
Yeah.
Those
teams don't know how to draw. You got to stop good.
Yeah. The base of
both can score a bunch of goals. They're just not
both of them can say it's gonna be a little football. Both of them will say, "We're gonna win this game. We're gonna commit the goalkeeper forward, everybody." And we're gonna go to a goal at the other end. 5-4.
All right. And then it's St. David's at Lord's against Hamilton Parish. I've picked Parish. Punchy?
Parish. For sure.
Maceo?
A rain dance, and Davis can call on the ancestors. They can bring the cricket bats and they can bring the cricket balls. They're not beating Hamilton Parish. Okay? They're not going to beat Hamilton Parish. They can bring the ancestors to the game.
Sure.
Yeah. They're still not going to beat Hamilton Parish.
Okay.
Hamilton Parish is going to beat St. Davis.
Sure. Yeah. Then on Wednesday evening at BAA Field, it is BAA versus Paget. Punchy, you're up.
Oh, that's BAA. Again, Andrew in the element, the holiday time is the players back. That's Andrew. That's BAA for sure. Hands down, BAA.
Maceo?
Yeah, BAA is going to position themselves to make it known that the promotion contenders.
Mm.
Yeah, BAA. They're going to position themselves. Andrew's content, everything.
Yeah, I've taken BAA as well. And then up at Somerset, Island Rangers host Social Club. Maceo, you're up first.
The Social Club is going to bounce back, man. They're gonna bounce back. Social Club. I'm picking Social Club.
Okay. I'm gonna take Social Club as well by the odd girl. Punchy?
I'm gonna take Social Club. Definitely. Social Club is gonna do that if it Clay Darrell. They'll bounce back. Maceo said they'll bounce back from there. The quality, that's all. And they will beat Island Rangers up there.
Okay. And then New Year's Day, Social Club will entertain the Boulevard Blazers. I'm going to take, just because we did already, I'm going to take Social Club. Punchy?
There you go, Smart. See, this one's going to be testy. Trust me. Them Blazers, if they're, those Ton guys, man. And they all know one another, man.
Back a Ton clash.
And listen, you know what, man? This is going to be hard. I'm going to take Social Club. Maybe just because maybe a little bit more organized, I'm going to take Social Club on this one.
Okay. Maceo?
I'm taking Boulevard, man. This is the highlight of the backyard kick, right?
Okay.
Boulevard. Boulevard's gonna, doesn't say, you know what, Boulevard and your Social Club, man? That's what's gonna happen there. They say, where Boulevard? Where's that game too? Because that's one I need to get to watch.
That game is at Police Field.
Yeah, Boulevard.
Okay.
I'm taking Boulevard.
All right. Paget Lions, this is also on Saturday, January 1st, entertain Vasco. Punchy, you're up first.
Vasco.
No.
And who's on?
Paget Lions.
And where's the game to?
Southampton Oval.
Oh, Vasco.
Interesting time. Maceo, I see you grinning. Paget or Vasco?
Paget's got a few little young kids back from school now. It's amazing what one puzzle piece makes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm picking Paget. This is business. I ain't playing around no more. Paget. I'm picking Paget because I want to win this thing. So I'm not playing around no more.
The man that said Paget will not win a game has picked Paget to win.
Well, that goes to show you I can change my mind. That's one thing that I was good at coaching. One thing I was good at coaching, I can change my mind right in the middle of the game. I can accept that I made a mistake and I got to change it right now and and then I'll change my mind again.
All right, I picked Paget to win.
You know what I call it? I call it changing my mind. I call it being open-minded.
Okay, all right.
Paget.
Okay.
Who you pick, Earl?
I picked Paget.
This is your first time you picked Paget too.
Yeah. I know. I actually picked him the first time against Iron Rangers.
Oh, you picked them against Iron Rangers.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, on Sunday at BAA Field, BAA versus Hamilton Parish. Matthew, you are up first.
That's an interesting one. Remember, I'm telling you, BA is gonna have their college kids back that are strong, organized, that want to prove themselves. They got Matthew Mourinho back. You know, that Gary Mourinho's son, man, he's a beast right now. They got Ben Ussat back. Here's another beast that's away in school. They got Finley Turnbull, you know, another beast. You know, so that's gonna equal out this game. That's gonna equal out. I'm picking a draw. They're gonna take points off of Hamilton Parish. I'm picking a draw.
I had already typed in a draw for that match. So, Punchy, it's you.
The student against the teacher. The student against the teacher. I think I'm gonna go with Hamilton Parish on this one, just because they have a little bit more. They've got a few players back too. So Corey Hill, if he's still hurt, he's probably going to add to that concept of what they're going to do against if he's still in Bermuda. He'll help out because he was to the game today. So they get a lot. I'm picking Hamilton Parish for this.
Okay. The final game in the first division on Sunday, we'll see Wolves at home, Wellington Oval, against St. David's. I've picked Wolves. Punchy. I
pick Wolves. Yeah, I pick Wolves for this. Those are the kind of games that they will win.
Yeah,
trust me. Wolves will beat St. David's at Wellington Oval.
Okay. Maceo?
Yeah, I'm picking Wolves, man. By that time, they'll be let back at training. You know, they only got a week and a half suspension from Don Hermitage Road. They're not, you know, the Heels and the Lees and the Miners are not going to suspend them forever from Hermitage Road. So they'll be back at training. I'm picking Wolves.
Okay, all right. Well, gentlemen, that's it's 21 games starting tomorrow. Between tomorrow and next week, Sunday. So plenty of football over a 7-day period. People will be probably tired of football, over the course of this week. But your teams are playing multiple games, chance to go out and support throughout this festive season. And I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. And as we get to it, Happy New Year. When we air next week, Sunday, we will be in 2022. And we'll get to all those good things as we get to them. Hopefully you guys had a good Christmas. And folks, we will have another edition of the Island Stats Football Show right here next week, Sunday at 6 p.m. Gentlemen, enjoy your evening.
Take care, guys. Cheers.